How long? Write their answers using the words in brackets. So you will ask questions about duration, right? So what will you ask here? Questions. Either it could be for activity, it could be for achievement. You will see whether this is an activity or achievement, and then whichever tense it is. Suppose it starts in the past and finishes in the past, it is in the past tense. If it starts in the past and continues up to the present, it is present perfect, continuous. Otherwise, it is in the future tense. If it starts in the future and finishes in the future. So, how long? But it is used for all the tenses, okay? Tim telephoned his father this morning, 5 minutes. Okay. Anyone having problem in 5.1? 5.1, do you need to repeat any of the exercises? Okay, no. 5.2, as I already asked you to make a chart, isn't it? One side activity, one side achievement, point of time, period of time, isn't it? For, in, until, and by. So once you have identified the activities, once you have identified the achievements, point of time and period of time, using that chart, you will be able to do 5.2 as well. So in order to do 5.3, let me just open the slide, which will help you because the structure is there in the slide. Yes, using this structure, you will be doing 5.3 from the workbook. We hardly have 2 to 3 exercises to do today, and we will complete with the workbook, and then you can practice the crossword. It is a revision of all the exercises of all the vocabulary you have learned till Unit 5. So today, we will be completing Unit 5, okay? Continue the following in 2 ways. Using didn't for till, that is X didn't happen for or till time. Using was before, it was time before X happened. So this is the structure. In the workbook, complete structure is also not given. So write down the structure there. It will be easy for you to do the exercise. So you expect something to happen at a certain time and it happens at another time. So it took longer than expected. They were sure they would find the oasis in a few hours, but 6 days. So how will you write? But they did not find it for 6 days. X did not happen for 6 days, period of time. But it was 6 days before they found it. It was time before X happened. Same way. Number 2, I was sure I would finish the crossword in a few minutes, more than half an hour. So try this one. Same way. I is subject, finishing the crossword is the verb, time period is more than half an hour, period of time. One of you read out the answer. If you are wrong, I will correct. If you are right, I will tell you. Others can check your answer from there.
But I didn't finish it in for more than half hour.
But I did not finish it for more than half an hour. Okay. Second structure. Second structure, verb is in the past tense. Okay.
But it was more than a half an hour before I finished it.
Okay. It was more than half an hour before I finished it, teacher. Now, number 2. His parents expected him to marry young. 48.
But he didn't
Take
marry
your time,
till
guys, and please repeat. Say it once again.
But he didn't marry till 48.
Yes, he did not marry till 48. Second structure.
It was 48 before he married.
But he was 48, okay? आफू उसको एज हो नि त सो इट मिल्दैन he was 48 before he married, okay? It was नभन, okay? I meant to mow the lawn during the weekend, midweek. Mowing the lawn is the verb, I subject.
But I didn't mow the lawn till midweek.
Second one,
But it was midweek before I mowed the lawn.
it was midweek before I mowed the lawn, okay? Number 5, she thought she would go back home before long, several years.
But she didn't go home for several years.
She didn't go home for several years. Second structure.
But it was several years before she went home.
It was several years before she went home, teacher. Last one. Everyone expected the war to be over in a few days, but almost a year.
But the war didn't
Get
end
over
for
one.
almost a year.
Please repeat.
But the war didn't end for almost a year.
But okay, the war didn't end for almost a year. Second structure.
But they didn't expect it for almost a year.
Wrong. But it was almost a year before the war ended. First structure ma it did not
Ma'am,
end
it was,
upon
it was first structure, but they didn't expect it for
फर्स्ट
almost a year.
एक्सपेक्ट होइन एक्सपेक्ट गऱ्यौँ तर हामीले त एन्ड रिजल्ट भन्नु पर्यो नि त सो टाइम भन्नु पर्यो सो एक्स डिड नट ह्यापन बट इट डिड नट के हुनुपर्ने हो भन त वार एन्ड हुनुपर्ने होइन यस अर नो वार एन्ड हुनुपर्ने भएपछि एन्ड भएन भनेर बनाऊ त ल अब फ्रेम गर त आई एग्री फर्स्ट स्ट्रक्चरमा बनायो मैले माने ल फेरि भन त केही हुँदैन मिस्टेक भयो भने आई एम देयर टु करेक्ट यु भन
But the war didn't over for almost a year.
डिडन्ट ओभर भन्नुको सट्टा बीलाई गेट पनि युज हुन सक्छ डिड नट गेट ओभर फर अलमोस्ट अ इयर अब मिलायो नि त है बट द वार डिड नट गेट ओभर फर अलमोस्ट अ इयर खालि तिमीले गेट छुटायो अरू सबै मिलायो अब अर्को स्ट्रक्चरमा मिलाउ त
But it was almost a year before the war ended.
Yes, but it was almost a year before the war ended. यो पनि एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ है Now we come to next structure. यो स्ट्रक्चरमा छ it depends, okay? यो fourth one. So write 3 sentences with it depends for each of the questions below. Use the ideas given. How long does it take you to read a novel? The number of pages, ma, it depends on the number of pages. How much time do you have? It depends on how much time you have. Is it enjoyable to read? It depends on whether it is enjoyable to read or not. अब now, what time do you get up in the morning? यसलाई बनाऊ same way मा.
It depends on
अब
how I
हामीले
feel.
लेख्दा इन्डाइरेक्ट क्वेसन हुन्छ, सो क्वेसन मार्क हुन्न, सो वर्ड अर्डर विल चेन्ज. जस्ट फलो द इक्जाम्पल केयरफुली एन्ड डु. एउटा एउटा गरेर भन्दै जाऊ. कम अन.
It depends on how I feel.
It depends on how I feel. I feel भन्दा पनि you feel लेख्दा अझै राम्रो. किन भन त? किनभने यहाँ के छ? यहाँ एक्जाम्पलमा how much time you have छ नि. सो जेनरली भन्दाखेरि you भनेको है. ल ट्राई गर त. So how will you write? It depends on how you feel, है? So general मा भनेको. Next. Yes no मा answer आउँछ भने whether use गर्न सकिन्छ.
It depends on whether it's
Yes.
weekday or the weekend.
It depends on whether it is, है? Is it, हैन? It depends on whether it is a weekday or the weekend. What time did you go to bed the night before? Try the last one.
It depends on what time you went to the bed night before.
It depends on what time you went to bed the night before. Teacher. Now let us try number 3. Same way we'll go on doing. अलिकति doubt हुने बित्तिकै we will follow the example and then we will be able to do it that way. How long does it take you to cook a meal? के हुन्छ भन त?
It depends on the recipe.
Yes, it depends on the recipe. Then have you ever cooked it before? Yes, no, my answer आयो. So whether लगाऊ.
It depends on whether you have ever cooked it before.
It depends on whether you have ever cooked it before. Okay. How many people is it for? Word order change हुन्छ यहाँ.
It depends on the number of people.
Or it depends on how many people it is for. त्यसलाई जस्ताको जस्तै राख्छु भन्दा त्यो पनि मिल्छ. Okay? So what you said also, it makes sense. So you can also say that. Do you walk to work? You can use whether.
It depends on whether it is raining or not.
Yes. It depends on whether it is raining or not. The time of year.
It depends on the time of year.
It depends on the time of the year. How much time do you have?
It depends on how much time do you have.
Yes. It depends on how much time you have. Do archa. It depends on how much time you have. The last one. Do you have to book for the theater in advance? How long has the play been on? How will you write?
It depends on how long the play has been on.
It depends on how long the play has been on. Others also try answering. This is not fair. Is the play popular? You can use whether.
It depends on whether the play is popular or not.
It depends on whether the play is popular or not. The last one, the night of the week. It depends on the popularity of the play. Right, all right. It depends on the night of the week. Weekend, okay, week day. Now let us come to 5.5. Till 5.4, anyone having any problem? Any problem, cha? Past, present, and future. So it is like this. Your structure just say, something that started in the past, finished in the past, past tense. Something that started in the past, continuing up to the present, present perfect uncha, and something that will start in the future is in the obviously future tense forms, right? So how will you do? Christine is a journalist. Write a paragraph about Christine using the information below and giving the duration of each of the things she has done, is doing, is going to do using for le duration बताउनै पर्छ हरेकमा. Add any details you like. के add गर्न सक्छौ. So the first thing that is given is what fun times newspaper 4 years ago now. Past बाट आएर present सम्म है. Christine is a journalist, so something that started in the past, continuing up to the present, present perfect. She has been working for Times newspaper for 4 years now. Same way. Study French at Cambridge University. Just like the example.
She studied French at Cambridge University for 3 years.
Yes, she studied French at Cambridge University for 3 years. Travel around Europe. Again, this also started in the past, finished in the past. Travel around Europe with duration.
She traveled around Europe for 1 year.
Okay. Work for Yorkshire Herald. Duration 2 years.
She worked for Yorkshire Herald for 2 years.
Yes, she worked for Yorkshire Herald for 2 years. Fine. Now live in small flat 4 years ago now, from the past up to the present. Which tense? Just like the example.
She has been living in a small flat for 4 years now.
She has been living in a small flat for 4 years now. ठीक है. Look for bigger flat. Same way.
She has been looking for bigger flat for 3 years now.
ठीक है. Now, write children's books 3 years ago now. Same way. Yes, class. Write children books 3 years ago now.
She has been writing children's book for 3 years now.
Teacher. She has been writing children's book for 3 years now. Now the next three sentences are in the future tense. Plan to take a break from journalism. It starts next week. Duration is few months. So how will you write? Is going to do भनेको छ future tense मा. So त्यही hint लिन मिल्छ. You can take that as a hint. How will you frame the sentence? Plan to take a break from journalism next week, a few months later.
She is
She will
planning to
plan.
take a break from journalism a few months later from next week.
Okay, she is planning to take a break from journalism next week for a few months. For भनेको छ नि त क्वेसनमा using for भनेको छ हेर त for bold मा छ. That means duration लेख्नु. So she is planning to go on holiday next week अथवा she is going on a holiday भन्दा पनि हुन्छ. About future, if it is already fixed, तिमीले going भन्न मिल्छ. If मेरो टिकट काटेको छ नि I'm going to London tomorrow भन्न मिल्छ. Okay. So go on holiday next week, 2 weeks later. So duration 2 weeks go, जाने चाहिँ next week हो. ल भन त कसरी लेख्छौ?
She is planning to take a break from journalism from next week for few months.
यो भयो. Next. This is correct, what you said. Next one, duration is 2 weeks. Same way, same structure, same tense.
She is going on a holiday from next week for 2 weeks.
ठीक है. She's going on holiday next week for 2 weeks. ठीक है. Work on a new book. 3 weeks time, 2 or 3 months later. Start गर्ने 3 or 3 weeks time मा. Duration is 2 or 3 months. So how will you write? and is going to do भनेको छ नि त इन्टमा हेर त
She is going to work on a new book from 3 weeks for 2 to 3 months.
in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, right? She is going to work on a new book in 3 weeks' time for 2 or 3 months. No? Okay, in 3 weeks' time for 2 or 3 months later. अब आओ तिमीहरू केमा भन्दा रिभिजन क्रसवर्डमा आओ. This is just revision of all that you have done till now. Unit 1 बाट लिएर Unit 5 सम्म whatever you have learned. म अलिकति हिन्ट दिन्छु. You go on doing, okay? You go on doing the exercise. जहाँ problem हुन्छ you ask me. म 3-4 वटा भनिदिन्छु. That is how you do. This page 26, okay? This is just a revision. Now, across भनेको यस्तो. Across means you are going to do it straight away. Down भनेको तल आउने हो. So, hair grown on the chin. What is it called?
Beard.
5 letters. Beard. So, BEARD लेख त त्यो 1 2 3 भएको भरिन्छ सिधा. Same way. Number 2. 4. He laughs at my jokes. Unit 3. Attitude. He is amused by my jokes. AMUSED. Amused by you? Yes. The letter was from my brother. You say 4 मा लेख्ने हो है. 4 को सीधा. The letter was from my brother from blank. I had recently borrowed some money. Relative clause को relative pronoun. Relative pronoun के हुन्छ? Who हुन्छ, whom हुन्छ, which, what, when. के लाग्छ यहाँ? 4 letters. Whom. त्यस्तो सजिलो छ. Next morning the ground was wet. It had been 7 letters. Sajilo guess.
Raining.
It has been raining, yes. Now गर्दै जाऊ त अब तिमीहरू. Where you have problem, ask me. Ma'am, 80 number भन. Otherwise, go on doing. If you are able to do तिमीले Unit 5 सम्म राम्ररी बुझेछौ भने बुझ. त्यही पनि तिमीलाई गर्न गाह्रो भयो भने that means Unit 5 सम्म राम्ररी गरिरहेको छैन भन्ने बुझ. Are you able to do? Yes, you are able to do. I thought the meeting would only last for a few minutes, but it was 3 hours. Number 22. What did you write here? 22
Before
ma bakhareko structure 5 point before. Very good. You ke garyo? This one specially. If there is 27 across thing that me cross, it is people who leave doors open. Unit 3 ma, if there is kyo? Kith structure. If there is,
One.
yeah, 27 across ma 1 ounce. Yes, if there is one thing that makes me cross. Angry जस्तै हो cross पनि रिसाउनु. That makes me cross है भनेको रिसाउनु. Then you गर्यो. Opposite of beautiful,
Ugly.
Ugly.
ugly. ठिक छ. I can't stand his accent. It really blanks on my nerves.
Gets.
gets
Gets. Okay, good. He should see a doctor. He dash rather ill to me. Unit 2. Unit
is
2.
Looks.
Appearance. Looks. Okay, good. Next. She's about 34, 35. She is in her
middle
middle. Good. So you are able to do. गर्दै जाऊ जहाँ problem हुन्छ ask me. Once you are able to do, you'll find it interesting also.
Ma'am, 10 number.
Number 10 कताको down कि
Across.
10. She stood across. She stood looking out of the window as though he was waiting for someone. Though. Unit 2 ma as if just say as though sa ni THOUGH. So 6 letters. Yes. गर्दै जाऊ wherever you find problem सोध ल or else के हुन्छ भने मैले भनिदिएको answer लेख्छ people will not try.
Ma'am, plan to take a break from
Yes.
journalism. plan to take a break from journalism मा
Number?
कुन चुज गर्ने
Number भन त. Which number?
म्याम यो क्रसवर्ड होइन कि अघिको पास्ट फ्युचर प्रेजेन्ट र फ्युचरको थियो नि म्याम
Okay, त्यसमा पख ल. Journalism. A plan to take a break from journalism. यो त फ्युचरको हो नि त, going to do भन्दा हुन्छ. She is planning to take a break from journalism next week for a few days भन्दा पनि हुन्छ. So plan नै भयो, यहाँ दिएकैलाई गरियो, going to जस्तै planning to भन्दा भयो. ओके, हेर इन्स्ट्रक्सनमा going to छ नि त. ओके, फ्युचर टेन्समा चाहिँ लेखेको छ.
म्याम सी विल प्लान टु टेक अ ब्रेक फ्रम जर्नलिजम नेक्स्ट विक भन्न मिल्ने कि नमिल्ने
She will plan नभन्ने, she is going to भन्ने के. जस्तै whatever is planned for the future कि if it is already planned, she is planning to भन्न सकियो के. जस्तै हामीले यो उसमा 5.7 मा तिम्रो सेन्टेन्सेस थियो नि, पल भ्यानेसाको लागि, it is exactly the same way के. So फ्युचरको लागि हामीले लेख्दाखेरि हामीले के भनिन्छ त, she is यहाँ के थियो, she will be working as a tennis commentator भनेर भनिएन त. So she will be going on holiday भन्दा पनि सकिन्छ, मिल्छ. She is going पनि मिल्छ, किनभने if it is already planned, I am जस्तै मेरो टिकट बुक छ भने I am going to London tomorrow भन्न मिल्छ. Okay, so whichever, that way you can do. Just are you able to do? Yes, are you able to do?
Ma'am, 28 or 29 का आएन.
28 or 29. Down ki across छ यो
Across.
across मै छ नि this यो एकदम common sense है. It is very simple. तिमी आफै हाँस्छौ मैले भनेपछि. This crossword comes after यो crossword कुन unit पछि आयो भन त? Yes, it is very simple. They were exhausted. They unit 5 बाट past मा भयो भने past भन्दा अगाडि भएको के हुन्छ past perfect भन्ने सिकाएको छ हैन. They were exhausted simple past. So they had spent यो activity भयो working in the garden. They had spent the whole day working in the garden. Simple. Any other exercise? Now try and complete all the exercises till 5. हाम्रो first term हामीले 80 सम्म भ्याइन्छ होला भनेर अन्दाज गरेको थियो and we have completed it nicely also. If तिमीहरुलाई कुनै पनि युनिट को कुनै पनि exercise you want revision तिमीहरुले मलाई भन्दा हुन्छ and I will help you with that. And where you have problem you can ask me or else हामी अलिकति लिटरेचर गरेर I'll get question bank अनि अलिअलि question bank बाट यसरी कस्तो question सोध्छ भनेर we can have an interactive session where we will be discussing questions that are asked in the examination. So this is how we go about it. Now, do you have problem in any other thing? Kunai aru cha? Or else you can ask me in the next class. La? Okay, this is all for today. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Complete गर्ने है